Hey guys. So tonight I wanted to talk about something that we all experience. And instead of telling you my tips on how to deal with it, I'm just going to talk about how I am feeling right now with it because I'm currently going through it. And that is feeling disconnected from your spiritual purpose. So this is really going to kind of be more of just my head noise on this and how I'm feeling. Um, I do feel like a video on how to deal with it would be great, and maybe I will kind of talk about how I've dealt with it in the past. But right now, I am feeling very disconnected, and it's frustrating because this happens almost in a cycle where I will just feel disconnected, and I don't know why, and I can't connect. None of my tarot readings make sense. I'm not sitting in front of my altar. I'm not engaging with any spiritual energy. I just feel nothing. And oftentimes this has to do with my depression because my depression does tend to um, really mess with all of the things that I enjoy because depression is just wonderful like that. Um, but I really think that it sometimes this just happens and I don't have a reason for it, but I'm particularly frustrated right now because we are just a few days away from one of my favorite sabbats. My favorite time of the year is kicking up. And I feel nothing. And I am so frustrated with it. I keep thinking, oh, I gotta decorate. That's my cat. She's not gonna be let in. She needs to deal with it. I keep thinking, oh, I need to decorate for Mavon, and I need to redo my altar for Mavon and film it. And I just each time that I actually get the chance to do so, I have no energy. I have no desire, and I feel frustrated, and I don't know what to do about it. And I don't know. I really feel like a lot of people are going through this right now, where they're either sensing a change or they're feeling um disconnected in some way. And I do understand that our paths wax and wane like the moon does, and our connection to deity does so as well. To me, the gods aren't always going to be present because there's, they have other shit to be perfectly frank. But I think it's also sometimes we're just left to figure out our own stuff, and I'm perfectly fine with it. I'm perfectly fine with taking that approach, taking that responsibility for myself to figure out what I need to do when I'm in a slump like this. But, ultimately I end up writing it out. That's just always what ends up happening because if I force it, it just will sever the connection even more, and I don't want that. But I'm not sure what else to do. Everything that I have been feeling lately has been, you know, for instance, a perfect example, I did a shadow work reading. And a lot of it had to pertain to really trusting my own intuition. And, I know a lot of that is stepping into spiritual practice more often, stepping into that liminal space and coming to that, especially when I am feeling really much like this, where I'm feeling down and I'm feeling like nothing is in my control. And to let's be perfectly honest here, this entire year has been an absolute shit show. And we keep thinking, my God, is it going to get any worse? And then I try to put myself into and pull myself back into perspective of, my family is still healthy. I still have a home. We still have food. Most of our day-to-day life has not changed. But I am still contending with my husband now works from home. My husband is going through a lot of personal things. So as a spouse, I naturally want to try and do everything I can to help him because he's the love of my life. Um, and that's what we do for the people we love. But also that my children, my youngest was supposed to start preschool this year. That is not happening now. My oldest was supposed to start kindergarten. That has happened, but it has been full distance learning, which initially we were supposed to have hybrid happening. And I had conflicting feelings about that because there's no right decision with all of this. There's no right decision with this pandemic, it feels like. Um, so I had initially had him in hybrid because I felt, okay, at least we're kind of getting the best of both worlds right now, and I don't know what else to do. But 2 weeks before school was supposed to start, the district here announced that they were pulling all of that and going to completely distance learning. And um, I freaked out. I freaked out because I was like, I have a younger child to deal with. Even though I'm a stay-at-home parent, I'm not a working parent. So ideally, I have the best situation. I'm struggling. I'm struggling every day to try and make sure that he stays on track and to try and deal with my youngest and to still try to keep everything quiet for when my husband handles his calls. And this is just in my immediate home life. Then there's the state of the world and yeah, so it sounds like honestly I'm having an anxiety attack on camera, but it's fine. This is fine. Um, Truthfully though, I do suffer from generalized anxiety disorder, and I do, as I stated earlier in this video, have depression. So I am also trying to keep those at bay the best that I can while kind of carrying everything else. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I don't think I'm giving myself truthfully enough credit for the amount of things that I'm doing in a daily basis. Um, and that I'm really pulling a lot of weight. And it's frustrating because I'm left at the end of the day just feeling completely and utterly exhausted and drained, both physically and emotionally and mentally, that I feel like there's absolutely no energy left for anything that I want to do, anything creatively, reading any books. I have not read a book in like a month. It's ridiculous. Or even sitting in front of my altar and just sitting and connecting. I did a spell the other night, um, but even that was I have to do this quickly while I have the energy because otherwise it's going to dissipate and I'm going to be left with nothing. And um, I just feel frustrated. Frustrated because I know at this point in the 20 years that I have been a practicing pagan and a witch, that I, again, with the same theme of underestimating, I underestimate the power behind all of my spiritual beliefs and everything that's backing me up there. I underestimate the fact that I can go to my altar and just let it out. I can sit there and cry. I can sit there and be angry. I can sit there and have a conversation with spirit or deity or whatever I choose to have a conversation with about all of this and feel like I'm out of control or feel like I have no control. I can do that. I can create spell work pertaining to everything that I'm dealing with. And one of the most powerful things I've always done for spell work for anger is, for instance, writing something down on a piece of paper and burning it. But I know that I can go and do these things, and I'm not doing them. And that's what is frustrating me the most, aside from just the timing of everything. As I said, this is my favorite time of the year, and this is the time of the year where technically, usually, I feel very powerful. But this year, I don't. And I think it's just because I am just dragging myself through the mud. a whole big weight on my back. And um, we all have our own struggles that we're dealing with throughout this absolute clusterfuck of a year. And I think that that's why I felt it was important to come on here and talk about the fact that I feel disconnected. Talk about the fact that I am struggling with keeping with my past. Talk about the fact that it is frustrating the ever living shit out of me because I just want to feel that. I desperately need to feel it. And I can't. I don't know why, but I just can't right now. There's something that is keeping me from it. And I hate that. I hate that because I need this side of me to ignite. I need this side of me to spark up, to become inspired, to have movement, to get fucking going. Like, I just need it. And I need it now more than ever, and it's not happening. I'm trying to light that pilot light, and it's just not working. I'm using fire as an analogy because I kind of feel that's really appropriate right now. But I think it's important to show you guys that it's not always perfect. And I am not always together, and no one is always together. No individual, no pagan, no witch. We sometimes aren't doing because this path is very much a path of doing, and you can talk as much as you'd like. But if you're not doing and you're not expanding and you're not learning and you're not practicing and being hands on, I just don't think that you're getting the full extent of what this could be, the full potential. That's the word I'm going for, the full potential, which is absolutely phenomenal once you really kind of get hands on and you kind of get into it. Um, but when you are going through a spiritual disconnect, much as I am right now, you feel stuck. Like the desire is there, but the will is not. Um, Carrying out the actions is not. And feeling isn't. I feel numb. And it's just again, I have to keep coming back to the fact that it's so unbelievably frustrating. And I don't want to feel this way, especially right now, especially with not only the time of the year, but everything that we're coming up on with, I don't mean to get political, but with the election, all that's going on in the world, I want to be working my damn magic around this stuff. I really want to use my magic for all that's going on and kind of all that's going on, not only in the world, but my own personal life, everything that's happening around me, because this year has been a giant shadow year where all this stuff keeps happening. And to me, it brings up shadows where I'm like, I thought I dealt with that. Guess I didn't. Here we are, back at square fucking one. Ugh. It's remarkable and terrifying at the same time. And maybe I'm just disconnected because I'm tired. I don't know. But again, the desire's there. It's just all the rest of it isn't. And I don't know what to do about that. Um, so I kind of just wanted to talk about it, talk about my head noise with it, and share with you guys where I'm at with this and how I don't have my shit together. I don't. And I feel guilt and frustration about it. But at the same time, I understand why it's happening. And I thought maybe this would be helpful to see. So I wanted to make more videos on Mabon because it is one of my favorite sabbats. However, I can't guarantee that I can do that right now. I'm really hoping I can still find some time to celebrate it, but if we're being completely on the mundane level, I just got my son's schedule for this next week for distance learning, and I'm like, Okay. Okay. Mm. Oh, help me. So, yeah, I never thought that I would be doing this for my kindergartner. I never wanted to do this. I didn't want to homeschool my kids. Mm, It's just not something I wanted. So, but anyway, I digress. I just hope that this is helpful to see. And if anyone else is experiencing this, because I really cannot shake the feeling that there is a large collective of this really weird, I feel a change coming, or I feel disconnected and I don't know what to do. I really feel that that's going on a large scale. So, if anyone else is having those experiences, please let me know in the comments down below. I would love to just understand that as best I can, or at least feel validated. um, because that's always good for us. But yeah, thanks for listening, guys, and as always, thank you for watching, and blessed be.